Neil deGrasse Tyson, 3 mind-blowing space facts. Big think. Neil deGrasse Tyson discusses the possibility of life outside in the universe, as well as field goals and dark matter. Should we restrict our search for similar things to the Goldilocks zone that surrounds a star? What exactly is dark matter, and if we can't find any evidence of it, how do we even know that it exists? Is it possible that the winner of a football game might be determined by the rotation of the Earth? Why you should point the finger at physics for the defeat of your beloved team. When seeking for aliens, ignore Goldilocks. If you are looking for a planet that might have the potential to support life, the popular wisdom has stated for a long time that you should search toward the Goldilocks zone. This refers to the regions of space that are located at the ideal distance away from a star. The temperatures that exist within the Goldilocks zone are described as being just right for the existence of liquid water and life as we know it. This is analogous to the different things that belong to the baby bear in the fairy tale. However, Dr. Tyson reminds us that the energy needed to keep water liquid does not necessarily need to come from the sun. This means that our search for extraterrestrial life is not restricted to only these zones. One of Jupiter's moons, Europa, is particularly noteworthy because of its size. You may believe that the radiation from the sun would not be strong enough to fully warm the planet and allow liquid water to exist on this moon because it is located so far outside of the Goldilocks zone. However, recent research has shown that this is not the case. However, the sun isn't the only place where energy may be found. Dr. Tyson explains, Europa receives its supply of energy from Jupiter and the moons that orbit around it. But how exactly does it accomplish that? The shape of Europa alters as it goes around Jupiter in its orbit. The rising and falling of the tides on Earth is not fundamentally dissimilar to this phenomenon. The tidal pressures exerted by the moon are causing changes to occur in the form of the Earth's water system. When you do something like that to a solid object, the solid object will experience stress as a result. In addition to this, as a result of this, one of the effects of this is that you are injecting energy into the thing. The evidence that Europa is warming up as a result of this shape-changing process may be seen in the fissures that can be seen on the surface of the moon. You have this frozen world called Europa, which appears to be entirely frozen on its surface. Yet, if you look closely, you can see that the ice has fissures in it. There is a split in the ice, and it shifts when it is melting, and then it refreezes. So there are ridges in the ice. Therefore, there is a break in this ridge where the crack is, but it continues on in another location. The conclusion that can be drawn from all of this is that Europa cannot be entirely frozen, and if it were, there would be no motion whatsoever. When you look at the surface of Europa, which is frozen over, you can see what appear to be ice pieces that have been moved, then refrozen, and then moved once more. It is likely that liquid water is behind that crusty ice that has cracks in it. We are all of the opinion that there is a sea of liquid water lying dormant beneath this layer of frozen water. In addition, there is no evidence to suggest that it would not have been liquid for an unimaginable amount of time. As more proof that livable worlds might reside outside of the Goldilocks zone, Dr. Tyson adds other probable sources of non-solar energy in the solar system, such as the volcanic activity on Io, which is another moon of Jupiter. Thermal vents on Europa are another potential source of warming. These vents have the ability to supply Europa's huge ocean with geothermal energy as well as the nutrients that are required for life, similar to what is found around black smokers in the deepest sections of the oceans on Earth. What does it even mean to call it dark matter? When astronomers and astrophysicists gaze up at the night sky and try to figure out why things are moving the way they are, they find that there is more gravity than there should be. A lot more. It is estimated that approximately 85% of the gravity that is observed to be acting upon objects in the universe cannot be traced back to a source that we are capable of detecting in any way. This gravity is not originating from black holes, stars, gas, planets, or anything else of that type. The factors that contribute to this gravity have been dubbed dark matter. However, Dr. Tyson is not a supporter of this phrase, as he explains why. Now, the term dark matter is not even the correct way to refer to it because it suggests that it's made up of material. It gives the impression that we are familiar with something about it, although in reality, we are not. Therefore, the term dark gravity is perhaps the most accurate descriptor for it. We're overreacting to a name that exaggerates our genuine insights or expertise about the thing we're describing, and as a result, we're making a fool of ourselves. He then goes on to offer a probable explanation for the cause of the effect. He believes that we are all moving in the direction of a family of subatomic particles that have almost little capacity to interact with the particles that we have come to know and love as ordinary matter, and that would give it some significance, dark matter as we've all been characterizing it, and the possibility that you may have a particle that does not interact with the particles that we have is not an odd thing at all. Even within the particles that make up our own family, there are some instances in which the contact is either very weak or completely absent. You might be familiar with the concept of neutrinos. This ghost-like particle can be found all around the universe and has very little interaction with the stuff that we are familiar with. WIMPs are an abbreviation that stands for Weakly Interacting Massive Particles, which describes this type of particle. Other hypotheses regarding the nature of dark matter include the humorously titled MACHOs, which stand for Massive Compact Halo Objects. These enormous objects, such as black holes and brown dwarfs, do not emit any light and would be challenging to detect in a variety of settings due to their lack of luminosity. It appears that fewer people believe in this hypothesis than they did before. Put the loss on the shoulders of physics for your squad. Dr. Tyson also provided an explanation for a tweet of his in which he claimed that the spinning of the Earth was responsible for a win by the Cincinnati Bengals. The winner of the game was determined by a field goal kick that was quite difficult, but ultimately successful by a margin of a few thousandths of an inch. But if you want to place blame, why not blame the rotation of the Earth instead of the kicker? Dr. Tyson explained that the spinning of the Earth was a factor in the success of the field goal kick, because in the northern hemisphere, a kick that is directed directly north or directly south will be directed to the right, and exactly that is what ended up happening to that kick. So keep in mind that physics isn't just about how the cosmos operates or where we might find extraterrestrial life. Sometimes it's about why your team is still the best and how the Bengals only won because the Earth itself decided to help them out. Other times it's about how the Bengals only won because the Earth decided to help them out. Earth's rotation affects many natural phenomena, including the Coriolis force, which affects moving objects and weather patterns. The Coriolis force deflects objects traveling across Earth. The equator has the weakest force. Hurricanes, tornadoes, and cyclones are formed by atmospheric and oceanic currents affected by the Coriolis force. The Coriolis force causes air or water to veer right in the northern hemisphere and left in the southern hemisphere while traveling from high to low pressure. Cyclic systems rotate due to deflection. Meteorologists and scientists predict and evaluate weather using Earth's rotation and the Coriolis force. It emphasizes the delicate balance between natural forces and our surroundings by showing how Earth's motion and weather systems are intertwined. These are the 3 points that Tyson warned you to remain with. And until further notice, make sure you like and subscribe to our channel for more content like this.